Welcome to part 76 of Marriland's Pokemon Diamond Adventure. 2 down, 1 to go. Let's go get the last of the 3 beings now, Mesprit. Now, unlike the others, this one is even more of a pain. Not only is it difficult to catch, but it runs from you. Ugh! I don't know if you remember from Ruby and Sapphire, Latios or Latias, or from Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the legendary beast things, Entei, Suicune, and Raikou. They're legendary Gophers, of course. I mean, we all know this. It's fact. But, yeah, the legendary Gophers, they run, and it's annoying to try and catch them. Well, Mesprit is like one of them. So, if you're trying to get a specific nature for Mesprit, save right now, because its nature hasn't been generated just yet. Otherwise, you are not going to have to fight it immediately. So don't worry if you mess this up. How it'll work is you'll run into Mesprit wildly, or in the wild. And it's really a pain trying to track it down. Okay, so when you talk to it, you'll see a picture of it first. Now that counts towards your Pokedex completion, so for getting the National Dex, you don't actually have to catch it. You just need to talk to it here and see it. Now then Rowan comes in and he's all like, "Whoa! You just found this thing!" And yeah, so I don't even know what he's talking about. He's talking about all this stuff and saying that Mesprit wants to play with me or something. I mean, what are you talking about, person? But he does tell me one bit of good advice, and that's going to, wow, there's so many words! Jeez! Stop talking already! Okay, he does tell you one bit of important information. You can use the marking map, Poketch app, and that will make it, easier to track down Mesprit. And that's true. So if you don't have it just yet, go to Jubilife City. Alright? Trust me. If you haven't been getting, Poketch apps from the, Poketch building thing, the company, you can get some now. You get them after every badge, or every 2 badges, I think. Like, you get one after the 1st, after the 3rd, after the 5th, after the 7th, I think, or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, you can talk to him now, and you'll get a whole bunch of Poketch apps. Now, the first is the memo pad, which is just a little drawing pad thing that doesn't really serve too much of a purpose, but it's there anyway. Now, the second one you get is the marking map, and that's what you're really looking for. That's useful for, marking locations and like that you've seen. This link searcher, it shows you if anyone's on Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, local connections in the Union Room or something like that. I don't know. Move Tester app, that lets you do type matchup checks or something. But yeah, those are the 4 you'll get for them for each of the badges. Okay, but now I'm going to do something really out there to really show you how to do this. I'm going to do dual screen here. Now this is nearly impossible to rig up, but anyway, this is the marking map Poketch app. See that little black dot thing down there? You'll look on the screen if you're doing this. You can see it. That's where Mesprit is. Mesprit will be on that route. And notice if you move between routes, Mesprit moves as well. See? Now it's down there and going back and forth. And now it just jumped all over the place. It does that. But what you need to do is you need to go back and forth between routes. Mesprit will always move either right to the route to the right of you, or not to the right of you, but an adjacent route. A route right by where it was last. And, well, it'll either do that or it'll just teleport some random place. But anyway, that makes it pretty easy to track down if you're just watching the bottom map. You can see it. I think, you know, I'm not so sure about this, because I know that there's a northern part of Route 204, and I think it might be in there. But Jubilife City, it's a good spot because there's 4 different paths, or exits. So if you see it up at the northern one, you could go to the eastern one, the southern exit, the western exit. Or if you see it coming down one of those paths, you can usually approach it. Remember, if you see it in the route adjacent to you, which means right next to you, if you go over to that route, it'll have moved. So don't be thinking that, oh, I see it right next door, I can just go over there and get it. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to actually watch and see. You gotta kind of outsmart it. You gotta predict ahead of time. Now, I'm not having much luck here. Oh, there we go. See, it's right to the eastern route there. So if I went east, I wouldn't encounter it. But I'm gonna try go to the south to see if it'll move down that direction. If I'm lucky, hey, I'm lucky. See? It's down there. So now just ride in the grass. And if you encounter Mesprit, you'll hear that legendary battle theme. Let's adjust this thing. Oh, it's a pain. But anyway, it's at level 50 just like the others. But on the first turn, it will run. So you need to be very careful not to knock it out, and you need to make sure that you hit it with something good. If you have a Pokemon with mean look, you can use that and it'll lock it in place, but otherwise it'll just run. Now, you don't have to do this right now. You can wait until the end of the game, or after you've gotten the National Dex. Go catch yourself a Wobbuffet, and then Shadow Tag will prevent it from running. So then you can just attack it and stuff. But you can also get it right now before the Elite Four. Another thing you can do, you can use your Master Ball on it. This is one of the Pokemon I'd almost recommend using a Master Ball on. It's either that or Cresselia. Personally, I prefer Cresselia to use the Master Ball on because it's even more of a pain to catch and it's more useful. But if you really want Mesprit, you can catch that with the Master Ball, and it's fine. Just because, see, it's really annoying to catch. It's also just as hard to catch as Azelf and Uxie. So you could use a lot of Pokeballs on it. I'd recommend using Quick Balls because you'll almost always have just that one opportunity to catch it. You can also use Dusk Balls if you're playing in the dark. So here's my personal favorite spot to try and catch it. I like Solaceon Town just because it's fun to watch where it goes, you know, Mesprit on the bottom screen, and I just seem to be able to catch things pretty consistently there. Like, see, right now if I go up, darn it. Okay, oh, it's all the way over there now, so I just gotta keep riding back and forth until it comes around in the area. Ideally, I want it to be on the southern part of, or on route, let's see, any of the routes by Heart Home City. So then, if I go south, it might end up on Route 209. Why is this not working? Come on. There we go. Oh, darn it. Messed that one up. Okay, I'm gonna go north and see. Ah! Might encounter it here. Alright, so just walk around. It is normal for you to encounter other Pokemon, but if you really want to make sure you avoid them, use a Max Repel. So then you'll only find Mesprit. You won't be bothered with anything else. Let's see. However, there is still a chance that while running around and trying to catch it, it'll move somewhere else after a few battles. So even after you look after a few battles, like, watch your marking map, because it might have moved. And it's really annoying and frustrating, too. So I'm going to use a Max Repel just to follow my own advice. If it is here, I'll run into it. If it's not, oh, there it is. So that's another effective way of doing it. Okay, Mesprit. Now, I'm just going to, let's see. I don't have anything that can put it to sleep or anything, so I'm just going to try and get lucky with a Quick Ball. That's also an okay method of doing it. If you just save every so often and go Mesprit hunting, if you throw enough Quick Balls at it, you will catch it eventually. It'll take a lot of tries, but... Whoa! That... Wow. You know, actually, that's a really bad example of how difficult Mesprit is to catch. Normally, you can spend a lot of time trying to catch this thing, because as you've seen, it's a pain, and it's just as hard to catch as both Uxie and Azelf were. I just got, wow, extremely lucky. Man. Whoa. Man, if I didn't have this recorded, I wouldn't believe it. Alright, back to one screen here. Let's check out this Mesprit. Wow. Normally those are just such a pain to catch. But, hey, sometimes you can get really lucky when catching Pokemon, I guess. It's somewhat of a clown. Its stats are only alright, but it's still a nice thing to catch. Whew! Well, that is catching Mesprit. Hopefully you have just as easy of a time catching it as I did. Man.